in the heart of ancient Egypt. Amidst the scorching deserts and the vibrant city of Cairo, lived a poor young man named Ayman. His life was a tale of hardship, filled with long, grueling hours of work, cutting wood from the dense forests and selling it in the city for a few coins. Every morning, Ayman would rise before dawn, grab his old, worn-out axe, and trek deep into the forest. His hands, rough and calloused from years of labor, told the story of his struggle. His clothes were torn, patched in places where the fabric had long given up. Yet, despite all his efforts, Ayman barely made enough to feed himself. His meals were simple, dry bread and dates, a constant reminder of his poverty. Life was hard, but Ayman kept going. He had no choice. One fateful day, as Ayman was selling wood in the marketplace, his eyes fell upon Layla. She was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Her long, flowing black hair shone like silk in the sunlight. Her deep brown eyes sparkled with warmth, and her smile, it could light up the darkest of nights. Layla wasn't just beautiful on the outside. She had a heart full of kindness and generosity. She worked as a seamstress, stitching clothes for the people in the village, often charging little or nothing for the poor. Despite his poverty, Ayman and Layla fell in love. She saw beyond his torn clothes and calloused hands. They got married in a small, humble ceremony, and their love blossomed. Life was still tough, but with Layla by his side, Ayman felt rich. Layla never complained about their poverty. Instead, she supported him, always smiling and encouraging him to keep going, even when the money barely stretched to buy food. But deep down, Ayman knew he wanted more. He wanted to give Layla the life she deserved, a life free from hardship and struggle. One day, while cutting wood in a part of the forest he had never explored before, Ayman stumbled upon something strange. Beneath the roots of an ancient tree, he found a small, ornately decorated box. Curiosity piqued. He carefully opened it. Inside, he found an old, dusty book, unlike anything he had ever seen. The book was covered in symbols and strange writings, and as Ayman flipped through its pages, he realized it was no ordinary book. It was a magic book that promised to grant the owner 3 wishes. Excited, Ayman rushed home to tell Layla. Together they sat down, discussing what their 3 wishes should be. For their first wish, Ayman wished for enough wealth to live a comfortable life. Instantly, their small, run-down house transformed into a grand villa. The walls were adorned with gold, the floors with fine rugs, and their humble home was now filled with luxurious furniture. Gold coins filled the room, and beautiful clothes hung in the wardrobes. Ayman and Layla were no longer poor. Layla, despite the sudden change in their fortunes, remained humble. She continued to work as a seamstress, stitching clothes for the villagers, often giving them away for free. Ayman was proud of her for not letting the wealth change who she was. They were happy, but the thought of the remaining 2 wishes lingered in Ayman's mind. Soon after, Layla became pregnant, and they wished for their second wish, health and happiness for their growing family. Their child was born healthy, and their home was filled with joy and laughter. It seemed like their lives had finally turned around. But something began to change in Ayman. The magic book, with its promise of one final wish, started to haunt his thoughts. Late at night, he would sit by the fireplace, staring at the ancient book, wondering what else he could wish for. One night, while Layla and their child were asleep, Ayman found himself drawn to the book. He opened it again, feeling the weight of the final wish pressing on his mind. As he read through the pages, strange things began to happen. The flames in the fireplace flickered wildly, casting eerie shadows on the walls. A cold breeze swept through the room, even though all the windows were shut. Suddenly, the pages of the book began to glow, and a voice whispered from the shadows, "Make your 3rd wish, Ayman. But be careful. Every wish comes with a price." Ayman froze, his heart pounding. He slammed the book shut and tried to calm his racing thoughts. But the voice, it stayed with him. Everywhere he went, he could hear it, echoing in his mind. Make the wish. Days turned into weeks, and Ayman grew restless. Layla noticed the change in him. He no longer smiled as he used to, and a strange darkness had taken over his once joyful demeanor. He became obsessed with the idea of the third wish. He knew they had everything they needed, but the temptation of more, the power to have anything he desired, gnawed at him. Then one night, as the moon hung full in the sky, Ayman gave in to the temptation. He opened the book once more, and with trembling hands he whispered his third wish. I wish for... Before he could finish, the book began to shake violently. The room filled with a deafening roar, and a shadowy figure emerged from the flames of the fireplace. The air grew thick with tension, and Ayman's heart raced as he realized something had gone terribly wrong. The figure, tall and menacing, laughed. Foolish boy, it hissed. You thought you could have it all without consequences? Every wish has a cost. Ayman's eyes widened in fear as the figure stepped closer. You wished for wealth, and you got it. You wished for health and happiness, and it was granted. But now, it's time for the price to be paid. Suddenly, Ayman felt a sharp pain in his chest. He gasped for breath, clutching his heart. The figure grinned, its eyes glowing with malice. Your final wish will cost you your soul. Ayman screamed in terror as the figure reached out, pulling him toward the flames. But just as he was about to be consumed, a soft voice broke through the chaos. It was Layla. She stood in the doorway, her eyes filled with determination. No, she cried, rushing forward. Take me instead. Spare him. The shadowy figure paused, looking at Layla with curiosity. You would give your soul for him? It asked. Layla nodded, her voice steady. Yes, I love him. The figure laughed again, but this time it sounded different, almost impressed. Very well, it said, and with a wave of its hand, the flames disappeared. The figure faded into the darkness, leaving Ayman and Layla standing in the silence of their home. But the price had been paid. The magic book lay on the floor, its pages burned to ash. And though Ayman and Layla still had their wealth and their health, they knew they had been given a second chance. One they wouldn't take for granted. Ayman learned that no wish, no matter how tempting, was worth losing the things that truly mattered: love, family, and the simple joys of life. If like this story, please hit the like button, share with everyone, and please subscribe the channel for more interesting stories in future. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Till then, share it.